Hello there folks, it's TIJ Gaming and welcome back to part 5 of the Ashes Cricket Player Career Mode with our own player, Toby Jones. Now, you'll remember better than I do, clearly, because I don't remember this very well. I recorded this last episode a long time ago, but we're in the middle of a 3-day match. I'm guessing against Redditch, seeing as it's been at Redditch Sports Club. How Redditch has got much to do with the Midlands Cup, I'm not particularly sure, but we ended the last episode on quite an interesting milestone, or a near milestone, in that our partnership with O'Neill was going to see him nearly get a 50, but we seem to have started quite well, 15 or 16 balls, but I haven't played this game since I last recorded the episode, which is probably about a week ago. It's been my birthday this weekend, I've had quite a busy week, so I am recording this the day before it's supposed to come out, which of course means that I've had a little bit of time to look through the viewing figures for this series, and it seems to have had a good reaction. You guys seem to be enjoying it, which is really nice and positive, and that'll continue as long as you guys do so. And just a bit of a message to you guys as well. There are 2 new series that are starting on the channel this week, taken from sort of the enthusiasm and the push that we had, and just the idea that we had to the Ashes and the snooker on the channel. Those will be golf and Formula 1 related, but I'll keep it there for now in terms of how much I'm going to spoil it for you. But those videos, the first of those videos, will be out on Wednesday and Thursday, so you'll have to see on those. But in terms of this series, I'm really pleased with how it's gone so far. But hopefully today's episode will be as good as previous, and hopefully we can get our highest run total of the series so far. Remember that on the even episodes we tend to do quite well, but on the odd episodes we don't do too well. But we're not going to go and strike it too ridiculously so far. It's a good shot, mind. This is going to be quite close, actually. We're alright, it's a single. We're off strike already. But no, we haven't really got much experience with this game. It's not really much of a pick up and play game, in my opinion. Just a service note that O'Neill has took his 50, which is all lovely and nice. Yeah, we're not going to go too stupid. It's not a pick up and play game, in my opinion. I think it's one of those that you have to get in with and learn. But to be fair, we've had 2 balls so far, and they seem to have both gone quite well in terms of the shot choice and etc, etc. But we can't get complacent, because you can't get a shot that's just down leg side like that. And yeah, that was quite nasty. Van der Hooft sounds like a real bloke from Redditch, that does. Decent shot. Didn't go for the run though, because I couldn't see if the fielder was there, and he was, so it was wasn't worth going for it. Blimey. Probably gonna have a coughing fit in a minute. But fourth ball of the over, and he comes. Bit of a slower ball that was, so it's gone off the edge, and we could be putting O'Neill at risk here. But luckily, the fielder's not that quick. The ball didn't get to him that quickly either, so luckily we pick up the single and carry on. O'Neill with no more runs off that over. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if I've already mentioned this person, but I don't actually know. I think I already have, but I can't quite remember. There's an appeal there, but that's not it. But I don't think I have. But the whole countback thing, which we were on about last episode, in that teams win based on their first innings score. So if you get a better first innings and the match ends in a draw, then the team with the best first innings score wins the match. And that wasn't clear before in the menus. And I think somebody, I can't remember the name of the person, and if I do remember, I will say it later on in the video. But you know if you are, if you're watching again. If you are watching again, please leave a comment and I'll remember your name this time. But it's much appreciated, and now we can understand what the countback rule means a little bit more. Which makes this first innings, which I think it is the first innings of the match, isn't it? Yeah, it's the first innings, even more important. Been a bit of a lacklustre episode so far, to be honest. Nothing really going on. I mean, the field's quite aggressive, so unless you're going to swing and go for boundaries and sixes, there's no possibility of the likes of a quick single, which is a little bit unfortunate at this point, but we can't do much about that. It's a point in the game where we need to stabilise our partnership, not lose quick wickets, because even though we're not on the biggest score, we are batting quite well. We've only scored 2 in the last 10, whereas beforehand we did score 15 in 16, so that's a very good score. But he's back in again, and that was a bit of a swinging ball. It was a little bit wide at first, and that was a maiden over. It's quite boring to watch, that was. We're not scoring at the quickest rate possible at the moment, but that's because the fields are set out quite well. I mean, there's a bit of space between mid-off and cover, but at the same token, Blake's at deep extra. Again, you can't go back there. I mean, you've got that angle between square leg and mid-wicket, but that's going to be a very tricky one to make. And it all depends on what side of the wicket it goes down. That was an edge. Luckily, not travelling too quick, and it didn't carry, but that was a risk. We're not batting as well as we did last episode. That's a bit of a fuller ball. Last ball of the over. I want to get some runs going though now. A good boundary would suit, but at the end of the day, we can't go for anything stupid because I'd rather be in than out. And that is a lovely shot. Well timed. Ideal on all fronts. I could tell that just by the way it moved, how quickly the ball moved. But unfortunately, as we saw earlier by looking at the fielding positions, there is a fielder out there. But nonetheless, it's a single. It runs towards the run rate, and you know, I think considering the fact that ourselves and O'Neill have took 71 out of the 148 run pot, I mean that's nearly half of the runs, which is ultimately quite impressive. Love to get to our 50 though this episode, but based on the strike rate we've had so far, what's that, 3 in 15? We're not going to get there unless we start hitting them quite aggressively. We just left that one. That could have been a bit of a risk in other situations, but the ball was nowhere near the wicket. It was just completely down offside, and at the end of the day, there was no point going for that one. But that's a Yorker. Again, not the best timing, hence why it didn't fly down the ground. This isn't the nicest of grounds to play on, in my opinion. It might just be the quality of the pitch. You can see cracks appearing in the pitch already, but you know, it's not the nicest pitch to play on. But luckily, that was a nice shot. It was good timing. It was a Yorker straight to feet, basically, and that hopefully should go to the boundary, which it does, and that's nice. And hopefully propels us to have a bit of a better, just get on with it now, a bit of a better innings, and finally get on with it after trying to almost start a session again in effect at the start of this episode. But a bouncer bowled there. We're not going to be fooled by that. 75 out of the 152 we've scored though now. Brilliant. The partnership's got to be coming on 50, because I presume that he scored a majority of his runs whilst being at the crease with myself. But end of the over, it was only the one boundary, but it's still 4 off the over, being quite greedy, and luckily the wrist spin is for O'Neill. But oh dear, I mean, I said luckily, but within 2 balls the spin has worked, and O'Neill has gone for 55. That's a real shame. That is a real shame. Now we've got to make sure we don't make it 2 quick wickets. I mean, Lynch got a quick single just to make sure he got off strike, but wow, quick wicket there, and that is a lovely shot. I don't want to put Lynch under pressure, but we are with this. Luckily though, I was going to say don't put him under pressure in terms of being on strike, but we put him under almighty pressure there with the fact that he had to run back for 2. 5 scored off the over, but at the same token, ooh, too late that was. Can't fool about. Now I don't like it when they bring spinners in, because it can have one effect or the other. I mean, we can swing for it and do really well, or the opposite can happen. We're going to go for the single because we want to make sure that we're the dominant batsman now. You know, I think it was O'Neill in the last partnership, but we've got to make sure we're a middle order. You know, I feel like Lynch is the kind of Matt Pryor figure of old that, you know, he's a good batsman, but he's not as good as we are, and maybe we're the Matt Pryor figure of old, and maybe Lynch is a Graham Swan, perhaps, that he's got the potential, but in truth, is he going to score the runs? I'm not sure. He's certainly not a Rashid, though. I mean, Rashid can't score runs for toffee. Well, we're on about being Matt Pryor, and I think we're out. Too late. It's hit our foot. I don't think it's hit the pads or anything like that, and we can't even appeal it, and we're out for 25. Well, that's really unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I'd like to see a replay of that if possible. Let's have a look. I mean, that's unfortunate. We were just too late, and yeah, it wasn't the best shot in the world, was it? How do we zoom in? There we go. That's how we zoom. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, it hits the foot, doesn't it? No, it hits the back foot. I mean, look how. Oh, it doesn't miss the bat by that much. Actually, it's quite a margin in the end, but wow, I think that it would have been going over the wicket. It would have been going over the stumps. No question about that. But that is really unfortunate, and we're out for 25. And now it could well be something of a collapse, really. Unfortunate, really unfortunate. Now, they've had a decent partnership. Lynch got 29 at 39 even, and actually, we skipped forward to their innings, but they didn't do too bad, you know, the tail end in the end. Fair play. 200 and something we got, I think. 276 And actually, as I just said, the tail end did quite well. So fair play. Apart from Banks, who was out for 2, those are all respective scores. I mean, from a number 10 to get 16, that's not too bad. Cromwell and Banks, though, have took quick wickets. They're about 100 so for 4 now, downing with the other wicket, Cromwell, and hopefully we can get the big first innings score. We haven't, though. They've beaten us on the first innings, which is a little bit worrying, as I said before about this count-back rule, and that isn't the best. Right, well, we've got to score quickly now, and we are into the crease. Now, what's the score? 83 for 4, blimey. I mean, O'Neill out for 3. You know, he's fair enough after that 55 last innings, but look at that. Oh, dear. Well, bowled by McGoughlin as he was in the first innings, and I feel like this might well be the bowler who we're going to face now. Have a slurp of my tea. We need it. We really need it for this one. We trail by 6. I doubt we're going to get that in this ball. That's a lovely shot, though. Lovely. Brilliant. And that's just the start to the innings we needed. Just to give us a bit more confidence. Just to give the team and McCalman a bit more confidence by getting the boundary. He's back on strike, but fundamentally it just shows, look, let's take it to Redditch. And get on with it, fundamentally. The scores are level now. He scored 2 in that over. And it looks like they've brought the fast bowlers on for some reason, even though the spinner took a wicket, which is a little bit odd. Once again, same shot. He's bowled in exactly the same place. And wow, we're off to a brilliant start in this innings. It can only get a lot worse. But again, bowled in the same place. Same sort of shot, and that was lovely. Brilliant. Can't get too cocky too quickly, but I'll appreciate the lovely 4s and lovely shots while we have them. Again, no. Fielder's too short there. You can't take him to the boundary every ball. Just doesn't happen like that. 8 off 3 though. I mean, what a brilliant strike rate that is. I said though, didn't I? I said we've just got to get on with it. We have to get on with it because we've got the first innings defeat. Again, they would on count back if we don't get to the end of this match and get a result. And we've seen before that we've tried to bowl at the end of matches. And sort of they've got 7 or 8 wickets against them. But we can't bowl them out. And that means the other team wins on count back. So we've got to get on with it really here. McCalman as well as ourselves. I mean, where are we? I mean, we're on what, day 2 at the end? I mean, we're just about leading him. We need to bowl them out in a day fundamentally. And yeah, well, it's not going to happen, is it? That's the problem with these 3-day matches. You can't be that aggressive because it's like a test match. Right. That's a decent shot. Quite late though, I think that was. I mean, it's okay timing, but it was late. Well, McCalman back in now. He scored 3 off the 3 balls, so fair play to him. Bit more of a dynamic field in terms of, well, not dynamic, but more spaced out, so the space is for us to take, which I wonder is whether is something we can take advantage of. We've just done the same as we did in the first innings. We've got trapped between the bat and the ball. That's a Yorker. No, straight to the fielder. Disappointing. Bit unlucky there. 10 off 9. The runs have dried up a little bit. I think that's 6 dot balls in a row. Oh, dear. It hasn't happened again, has it? And it has. It's happened again, ladies and gents. Well, we've been done LBW twice. Again, we don't get the courtesy of a replay for it. And we've been out by a method that I don't remember getting out at all in Ashes cricket before. But it seems to have happened twice today. Let's have a look. I mean, if we lock on the striker, which is us, of course. I mean, we just get trapped. It's a Yorker. We try and hit it. And it just gets trapped. The bat's too far forward. He's hit leg. I mean, can we get a sort of shot? Be perfect when it hits. I mean, that's direct. That's direct angle, I'd say. It's going straight between left and middle stump, that is. I mean, it wouldn't be done on height, I don't think. No, it wouldn't be done on height at all. No, fair enough. That's out. Good decision by the umpire. But we've done all we can do. A few flashy shots and that's about it. And that's not going to be enough to get into the county side of it. Even though McCalman's had a gun innings, the same can't be said for anyone else. McCalman's out for 89. We're out for 200 and something. And unless they have a complete collapse on day 3, and they're out for 150 and something, Redditch are going to win this match. Despite any fears of any countback, they're going to win. Well, they've lost the first 2 wickets quite cheaply, but Dixon's getting on with it, which is a bit of a problem. But they are losing wickets. Dixon's gone as well. And have they won the match? Is that how many they needed? That was it. They only needed 441. And they've won by 5. Well, we're not doing too well in the Midlands Cup, you know. I don't think there's too many. In fact, that might be the last game of the Midlands Cup for us, you know. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a quick look. Let's have a look. Any time now. Okay, yeah, so we're on the next level. We agreed before that we can spend up to the 100,000 point mark. Basically, I did a career mode before, which we spent a lot of that money on. We may as well just spend some money on the bowling side. It's not going to hurt. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Spend 5 on accuracy. It's not going to hurt at all. And was that right? HG. No, club 3 days. So we've got 1 more game left. So there's okay, so there's 5 games. A complete round robin, that makes sense. 1 game again against Huntingdon. We need to win this just to make sure we're not bottom of the table. I mean, luckily Maidenhead have lost their match. But at the moment we can finish 4th highest, and that's not the best at all. Really poor display from the team. But we'll start this match and then we'll continue into the next episode. Yeah, default uniform. Huntington Ground, very inventive name for a ground. I think they're all just something ground for the club playoffs. That's quite funny. But nonetheless, we need to do better in this. The whole team, not just us. We can't be a scapegoat. We've been out quite cheaply in terms of the way we've got out. But, you know, we can't really do much about it. Maybe we ought to be the captain. Because some of the decisions made, like the aggressiveness, is just quite poor. I think. Personally, because you can't bat defensively, for goodness sake, if you know that the time's against you and the opponent's going to get the score easily. You've got to put the pressure on them to, yes, sort of give them the time, but make sure that we've got the time to bowl them out and also get the runs on the board. I mean, if there's only 140 for them to get in a day, we may as well not turn up. Unless they have a complete collapse, which never happens. You know, we're going to lose every time, which is a real problem. Sounds like England in real life. And Huntington have won the toss. They have chosen to bat. So the opposite to the last innings, and in fact, probably the first time we're facing a batting display since the first match, I think. So, Porterfield, very weird name, Champion Porterfield. Well, there we go. We're going to skip this innings, though. Of course, if we're required, we'll bowl, but I very much doubt that. Porterfield's out. I mean, these look like a good team. They all just seem like they're more consistent teams than us, in that they all get quite big scores. I mean, in the top 5 players, only one of them got below 35. But they are out quite cheaply, in all fairness. They didn't bat very low in the end. Very much the top order contributing to a lot of their runs. 238. I mean, we should win the first innings at least. Yeah, the first innings has proved to be crucial in a lot of games. In fact, I think that the game against Redditch was the only game in which has been won in terms of on time. So that's an interesting one. But we're in at number 5 this time. It seems to have changed the team around. O'Neill's out. That's an interesting one. They took O'Neill out of the team. Whether it was he's got other commitments, I very much doubt that. But Wang, I mean, there's the number 3's gone, which I can't remember who that was, and O'Neill's gone. So we've moved up to number 5. We've got an all-rounder at 6, Topley. McCarthy, I think's new as well, but the bowlers remain the same. But we apart from O'Neill, not apart from O'Neill, but rather than O'Neill, we can build a partnership with Wang now, apparently. Can we go for the 2? Yeah, we can. Well, fair enough to the field, as the Australian commentator says. I mean, you can imagine a lot of them in English county cricket, can't you? Obviously, these aren't official teams, so yeah, that's why we've got Cricket Australia all around the place. We can't get done LBW, though. Again, I'll be really frustrated if that happens. But we need to prove ourselves now. We've been moved up to number 5. We're still middle order. I think middle order pretty much constitutes 5, 6 and 7. I mean, that was quite poor, to be honest. Too greedy down the leg side. But, no, we need to constitute why I've been moved up to 5th. Fundamentally, what I'm saying is we need a 50. We need a 50 score, or even more than that. Just to say to the selectors, look, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not doing badly at all. But we need a big score at some point. We're consistently getting sort of 20s and 30s, which I suppose is enough. But to really look at the selectors of Warwickshire, I mean, that's a blooming quick ball, 92 mile an hour nearly, wow. But to impress the selectors at Warwickshire, we've got to be getting good scores. Because there's such a big gap between domestic... Oh my god, Wang's gone as well now. Wang's gone. You know, there's such a big difference between domestic and county cricket at the end of the day. And that is a ridiculous bounce, hence why it being a no ball. Well, it wasn't. I wasn't thinking it'd be a no ball, but that was ridiculous. How high that went above the shoulder. I think you're only allowed to have 2 balls in the over that go over the shoulder or something. But that was crazy. I mean, this bowler's quick, I can tell that much. But a nice gap found between those 2 fielders there. Whether it runs to the boundaries is just our luck. But another double there. Seems Topley's got on with it though since he's come in. So 4 for the both of us, just in the fact that Topley scored it quicker. Need a good partnership here, that'd be nice. Oh, no. And a partnership's not helped when you go for silly singles like that. It's really not. Well, the last game is something we've got to look at and go, well, we did it decently, but it wasn't good enough. I mean, that first innings had potential. It really did. But we didn't score quick enough in the end. No, we'll stop there. It's always worth going for it, but you can always come back. I mean, look at this. Look at how many fields they've got on the onside now. They've got a gully point, cover point, and extra cover. I mean, there's a big gap here. That's what's encouraging me now. Unless the bowler gets it. Which means we can't go for an elevated shot. That'd just be daft. Like that. Not the elevated shot, but the fact that the bowler got it. If it was quicker, the bowler wouldn't have picked it up so easy. So this is a bit of a tricky one now, getting it past the infield. And really, you've got to get it past the infield, particularly when it's so tight, to get singles, twos, well, any sort of run. But we'll be helped by runs like that are given to us, like wides, no balls, extras. I mean, that's a perfect ball. That's just an example of why you always put a fielder there, because they're all running after it now. I think it won't go for 4. This is a risky 3, but the 2 fielders squabbling over who is going to throw it back. And unless he gets an odd number now, we're back on strike for the next over. Let's hope it's not a spinner. That's exactly what it is. Oh dear. 3 for 38 Clerms took. Well, fair play to him. I mean, that's a good shot. Straight to the fielder, mind. 8 overs left in the day. I have a feeling we're playing a lot of them. Just bearing in mind time. Might call this the last over of the day. Depends if we get out or not. I don't want to jinx it. There's a shout. Not as strong as others, though. I mean, there's always going to be a shout, but no, the umpire's not interested. Again, an LBW shout. We don't want to get out by LBW in this match. That's a nice shot, but again, the infield is so crowded, particularly on the onside, on the offside even, that there is just no chance of getting it past. I mean, you have to play such an angle to make sure it gets past short cover. No, I didn't want to do that. I mean, that's a run. We found that just by luck. I don't know how we found that gap. That was a bit daft to go for. We're not going to get 2 there. I'm glad we got the single, though. I didn't... Oh, Christ. Come back. Come on. Back again. No. A bit across. We're going to get out by doing these silly games. I mean, again, another single. Good shot. 3 singles in a row, then. 1 over we're going to play more. I just want to see what happens. I feel like there's going to be something that happens in the next few overs. Whether we get on with it a bit more, whether we get out, I don't really know. There's 7 overs left, though, and again, another boundary would be nice. Again, decent. It's a single, though. It's a single. Are we going to get it? Yeah, we are. And I think we're going to end it there, folks. So, we're 125 for 4. Very respectable score. We trail by 113. And hopefully we can get a good score going in the next episode. But if you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel for Ashes Cricket content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Goodbye.